शिष्य गुरु गौरांग गंधार्विक गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अश्रुतर अश्रुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अश्रुतर अश्रुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अश्रुतर अश्रुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्रुतर अश्रुत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्रुतर अश्रुत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षर बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री मुनि देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। जय श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो। Forgot to open up this. Okay, so Dandavat pranams Niri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Okay, so I am gonna start Mangalachara now. Just waiting to see the comments there. Anyways, I don't see anything yet. Oh, Haribo, Ganga Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, and Janardhan Prabhu. Oh, thanks for sharing also. Dandavat pranams, everybody. All right, so we are starting the Mangalacharan. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadato sankirtanaika pitaro kamalayataksho vishvambharo dvijavaro yugadharma palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. Jai 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 Vishvambhara Dvijaraj Jaya Vishvambhara Priya Vaishnava Samaj Gaura Chandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadhir Jaya Sankirtana Moy Sundara Sharir Jaya Nityaanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jaya Gadadhara Advaitera Prema Dham Jai Shri Jagarananda Priya Atishay Jai Vakreshwar Kashishwarer Hriday Jai Jai Śrīvāsa Priya Varganath Jiva Prati Karo Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Madhya-khaṇḍa katha jeno amriter khanda, je katha shunile ghuche antar pashanda. Madhya-khaṇḍa katha bhai, shuno ekachitte, sankirtan aramba hoilo jeno mate. Oh, dear brothers, please hear attentively the topics of Madhya-khaṇḍa, wherein the inauguration of the Sankirtan pastimes is described. Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam, nayamang charanantikam, bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्ग मध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya-chartamrita. Ore mura loko shuno Caitanya mangal, Caitanya mahima jate jani beshakal. Sorry. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Caitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das, Vrindavana Dasa Koilo Caitanya Mangal, Jahara Shravane Nashi Sarvaya Mangal, Caitanya Nitāi Jate Jani Mahima, Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima, Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhanter Sar, Likhiya Chen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar, Caitanya Mangala Shune Jadi Pashandi Javan, Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tatakon, Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanya, Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Śrī Caitanya, Vrindavana Dasa Pode Koti Namaskar, Aiche Granta Kori Teho Tarila Sangsar, Narayani Chaitanyer Uchishta Bhajan, Tar Garbe Janmila Shri Dasa Vrindavan, Tar Ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan, Jahara Shravane Shuddha Koila Tribhuvan, Shahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar, Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amriter Dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri, the Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai. Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Śrī Nitāi Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All right, so we are continuing on with our reading of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. I just wanted to look at this. So we concluded chapter 7 yesterday. Let's just look at all these chapters. What is this? First chapter is Prabhur Prakash Arambha, O Krishna Sankirtan Shikshadhan. Okay, so the Lord manifests himself. He begins to manifest himself, and he gives instructions on Krishna Sankirtan. Then Prabhur Śrīvāsa grihe prakash o Sankirtanar aramba. Yeah, Sankirtan aramba, sorry. Then the Lord, the second chapter is the Lord, he manifests himself in the house of Śrīvāsa Pandit, and he begins the pastimes of Sankirtan. Then third chapter is Prabhur Murari Grihe Varaha Murti Prakatan. So the Lord, he manifests his form as Varaha in the house of Murari, O Nityānanda Saha Milan, and he meets with Nityānanda Prabhu. That's chapter 3. Then chapter 4 is Nityānanda Mahima Prakash, revealing the glories of Nityānanda Prabhu. Then chapter 5, Nityananda's Vyas Puja or Shad Puja Darshan. So Nityananda's his observance of Vyas Puja and his seeing the Shad Puja form of the Lord. Then chapter 6 is Prabhur Advaita Milan, so meeting with Advaita Prabhu. And Mahaprabhu's meeting with Advaita Prabhu, and Advaita ke Vishwarup Pradarshan, and Mahaprabhu's manifesting his form as Vishwarup to Advaita Acharya. Then chapter 7, which we just finished, which we finished yesterday, is Pundarik Gadadhar Milan. So the meeting of Pundarik Vidyanidhi and Gadadhar Pandit. And today we're beginning chapter 8, Ashtam Adhyay, and that's Prabhur Aishwarya Prakash, the Lord's manifestation of his opulences, Aishwarya. And there's lots of topics in this chapter that we're going to be reading about. It's going to be 4 days worth of reading. And then the next chapter is Prabhur Sat Prahariya Bhav O Bhakta Shridharir. Sorry, Bhakta Shridhar Adir Charita Varnan. Okay, so the Lord will, for 7 praharas, the Lord will manifest above. How many hours is that? It's like 21 hours or something like that? 26 hours? I can't remember. No, 21 hours. The Lord's 21-hour manifesting, like, forgot how we usually word it in English. And then the Lord will glorify all the devotees, beginning with Sridhar Pandit. Okay, so let's begin. I'll just open this up. You can get a summary. Hey, I thought I already opened this. I did. All right. So chapter 8, the Manifestation of Opulences. This chapter describes Śrī Nityananda's stay at the house of Śrīvāsa, Mālinī's service to Nityananda in the mood of vātsalya, Mahāprabhu's tests of Śrīvāsa's love for Nityananda, Śrīvāsa's firm faith in Nityananda, Mahāprabhu's benediction. Mahaprabhu's benediction on Śrīvāsa, Nityananda's performance of various childhood pastimes, Mother Śacī's dream, Mahaprabhu's invitation to Nityananda, Nityananda's lunch at the house of the Lord, Mother Śacī's vision of their opulences, Gaur and Nitai's wonderful ecstatic mood, Mahaprabhu's ride on the shoulder of a singer who sang the glories of Shiva, the Lord's resolution to perform congregational chanting at night, the Lord's nightly Sankirtan pastimes at the house of Śrīvāsa, the atheist's various envious statements, Mahaprabhu and his associates' kirtan behind closed doors, Mahaprabhu's climbing on the throne of Lord Vishnu, and his eating in a wonderful mood. Those are all the topics that we're going to be reading about over the next 4 days. We'll break 1 day for Srila Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day. And today we're reading up to Mother Śacī's dream. We'll be reading all these topics up to this. Mother Śacī's dream right there. So today will be mostly, though, about Nityānanda Prabhu, Śrīvāsa Thakur, and Mālinī Devi. And then it will end with Mother Śacī's dream. Okay, here's a more detailed synopsis. When Mahāprabhu was engaged in enjoying various pastimes in Navadvip, Nityānanda Prabhu lived at the house of Śrīvāsa. Haribol Vidyalala Sadidi. Due to constantly remaining in the mood of a child, Nityānanda did not eat with his own hands. So Mālinī affectionately fed him like her own son. In order to test Śrīvāsa, Mahāprabhu one day asked him why he allowed Avadut Nityānanda, whose caste and character were unknown, to live in his house. In order to protect the prestige of his family and caste, he should not allow him to stay in his house. In answer to this, Śrīvāsa informed Mahāprabhu that one who has worshipped Mahāprabhu for even a day is certainly dear to him. Moreover, Nityānanda Prabhu is non-different from Mahāprabhu. Then Śrīvāsa Thakur said, even if Nityānanda held a pot of wine and associated with prostitutes, or even if he destroyed Śrīvāsa's caste, life, and wealth, still, Śrīvāsa's faith in Nityānanda would not be disturbed for even a moment. On seeing Śrīvāsa's firm faith in Nityānanda, Mahāprabhu became greatly pleased and gave him the benediction that even if Lakshmi Devi herself happened to beg at any time, Śrīvāsa would not face any poverty. And even the cats and dogs in the house of Śrīvāsa would have unflinching devotion in Mahāprabhu. Thereafter, Mahāprabhu entrusted Śrīvāsa with the full responsibility of caring for Nityānanda and returned home. Nityānanda Prabhu continued to wander throughout Nadia. Sometimes he swam in the waters of the Ganga, and sometimes he enjoyed unlimited bliss by floating in the current of the Ganga. Sometimes he would visit the houses of Murari or Gangadas, and sometimes he would go to the house of Mahāprabhu. Whenever Mother Śacī saw Nityānanda, she showed him great affection. When Nityānanda, in the mood of a child, tried to touch the lotus feet of Mother Śacī, she immediately ran away. One day, Mother Śacī had a wonderful dream. While narrating the subject matter of the dream to Mahāprabhu, she said that both Mahāprabhu and Nityānanda entered the temple of Vishnu as 5-year-old boys. Then Nityānanda held Krishna and Mahāprabhu held Balaram, and they began to quarrel with each other. In anger, Balaram and Krishna asked Gaura Nityānanda to leave the temple room because they were unauthorized. Then Nityānanda replied that in the previous Dwapara Yuga, Krishna and Balaram had full authority to perform all their pastimes, but in the present Kali Yuga, they had no right whatsoever. This is our time. Therefore, Gaura and Nitāi alone were qualified to accept all the offerings. Both Balaram and Krishna then said that they would bind Gaura and Nitāi and confine them to the temple room and leave. In this way, they went on quarreling and began to eat the foodstuffs that they had snatched from each other. When Nityānanda Prabhu addressed Śacī Mata as mother and begged for her rice to mitigate his hunger, Mother Śacī's dream came to an end. Actually, I'm not 100%. Yeah, I think we are. Okay. Then, after Mahaprabhu heard the description of the dream from Mother Śacī, he forbade her to disclose it to anyone. The Lord said that the deities of her house were directly the personality of Godhead, and they eat half the foods offered to them. He previously had some doubt whether Lakshmi Priya was eating that portion of the offering, but now that doubt was removed from his mind. Therefore, Nityānanda should be invited and fed. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu went to Nityānanda, and while inviting him for lunch, the Lord forbade him from manifesting any kind of restlessness. In answer to this, Nityānanda said that only a madman plays mischief, and Mahaprabhu thinks everyone is like himself. While speaking in this way, they both arrived at the house of Mahaprabhu and sat down together with their intimate associates headed by Gadadhar. After Mahaprabhu and Nityānanda Prabhu washed their feet with the water offered by Ishan, they both sat together to eat their meal. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu appeared just like Sri Ramachandra and Lakshman. When Mother Śacī served them on 3 plates, when she served them food on 3 plates, they began to laugh. On seeing the characteristics of Krishna and Balaram in the bodies of Gaur Nitāi, Mother Śacī fell unconscious to the ground, whereupon Mahaprabhu helped her regain consciousness. I think we're reading up to this point. Yeah, we'll see. And so then I'll read the rest of this summary in the coming days, tomorrow and the day after. All right, so now beginning. 1 second. Okay. Jai Jai Shri Gaura Sundar Sarva Pran Jaya Nityānanda Advaitera Prema Dham. All glories to Shri Gaurasundar, the life and soul of all. All glories to the abode of Nityananda and Advaita's love. Jai Shri Jagadananda Shri Garbha Jivan Jai Pundarika Vidyanidhi Pranadhan. All glories to the life of Shri Jagadananda and Shri Garbha. All glories to the life and wealth of Shri Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Hare Krishna Shubhananda Prabhu. Jai Jagadisha Gopinathir Ishwar Jai Hok Jata Gora Chandra Anuchar. All glories to the Lord of Jagadish and Gopinath. May all the devotees of Lord Gaurachandra be glorified. He no mate navadvipe Shri Gauranga Rai Nityananda Shange Ranga Koro Ye Sadai. In this way, Shri Gauranga Rai constantly enjoyed various pastimes with Nityananda in Navadvip. Advaita Loya Sarva Vaishnava Mandal Mahanrita Gita Kore Krishna Kola Holo. All the devotees accompanied Advaita in jubilant dancing and loud chanting of the names of Krishna. Nityananda Rohilen Śrīvāsa Ghare Nirantar Balya Bhav Ano Nahi Spure. Nityananda continued to reside in the house of Śrīvāsa Pandit. He was constantly in the mood of a child and did not manifest any other mood. Nirantar Balya Bhav. Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu manifested the nature of a young child while residing in the house of Śrīvāsa. Mālinī, the wife of Śrīvāsa, fed him like her own son in the mood of vātsalya. Therefore, in order to know Śrīvāsa's attachment for Nityananda, Sri Mahaprabhu said to him, "You should not associate much with Nityananda, whose character and family background is unknown." In answer to this, Śrīvāsa said, "I know Nityananda is your own body. There is no difference between the body and the self of the Lord, and that is being proved by our service in vātsalya ras. There is no difference between the service to you and service to Nityananda. I am your devotee, and I know that whoever is attached to your service is also the worshipable Lord of my heart. It is not proper for you to test me in this way with contradictory statements." And this purport that we just read applies to this verse that we read up to verse 14, verses 6 to 14. Apane tuliya hate bhat nahi khai Putra prai kori anna Mālinī yogai. He would not eat rice with his own hands, so Mālinī fed him like her own son. Nityananda anubhava jane pati vrata Nityananda seva kore jeno putra mata. The chaste Mālinī knew well the glories of Nityananda. Therefore, she served him as a mother serves her son. Ekadina Prabhu Śrīvāsa Sahita Boshiya Kohen Kata Krishner Charita. One day, the Lord was sitting and discussing topics of Krishna with Śrīvāsa. Panditere parikshaye Prabhu Vishwambar ei avadhute kene rakho nirantar. In order to test Śrīvāsa, Lord Vishwambar said, "Why are you letting this avadut stay in your home?" Gaudiya Bhashya. Sri Vallabhacharya defines an avadut as a person who is completely devoid of bodily urges and who appears like inert matter. According to the Siddhanta Pradipa, an avadut is one who is fully detached from the pride of identifying with his belly and genitals. The Shabdasar states, "A yogi who follows the principles of strict celibacy, who is aloof from the principles of varna, and who is always engaged in contemplating the supersoul is called an avadut." The syllable a means akshar, or inexhaustible. The syllable va means varenya, or respectable. The syllable du means free from material bondage, and the syllable ta refers to the knower of the famous Vedic statement, Tattvam Asi, you are that. Therefore, he who possesses these qualities is an avadut. Inexhaustible, respectable, free from material bondage, and knower of the Vedic statement, Tattvam Asi, you are that. That's from the Shabdasar. What was that book? Yeah, Shabdasar. Kona jati kona kula kichui na jani, parama udar tumi boli lam ami. I know you are very magnanimous, but we do not know which caste and which family he belongs to. Apanara jati kula jati rakha chao, tabe jhata ei avadhutere ghuchao. If you want to protect your own caste and family, then you should immediately get rid of this avadut. Mahāprabhu is telling Śrīvāsa. I'm curious, actually, what does the Samshad Bengali dictionary say for avadut? Obodhut. Oops. One of the class of, what's that, anchorites who worship Lord Shiva, a saint, a hermit, a mendicant. Okay, so if you want to protect your own caste and family, then you should immediately get rid of this avadut. Isha thasiya bole Śrīvāsa pandita, amare pariksha prabhu, e nahe uchita. Śrīvāsa Pandit smiled and said, "O Lord, it is not proper for you to test me. Dinek je toma bhaje she mor pran, Nityānanda tor deha mohate praman." If anyone worships you for a day, he is my life and soul. Nityānanda is your body, and I am the witness of this fact. Modira javani jadi Nityānanda dhare, jati prana dhana jadi mor nasha kore, tathapi mohar chitte nahibo anyatha, satya satya tomare kohilo e katha. Even if Nityānanda holds a pot of wine, associates with women, and spoils my caste, my life, and wealth, still my faith will not waver. This is a fact I am telling you. Gaudiya Bhashya. Since people who are intoxicated by drinking wine engage in various sinful activities, they are extremely abominable in the vision of cultured persons. By drinking wine, a living entity's intelligence becomes polluted, and his propensity for sinful activities increases. The mundane sense enjoyers who are attracted to external form indiscriminately associate with women without considering their caste and behavior. As a result, they bring infamy to their caste and family and they degrade themselves. Marriages other than prajapatya, arranged marriages, and brahma, between Brahmins, such as Paishach, Ghostly, and Rakshas, demoniac, as well as marriages other than savarna within one's caste, and asavarna, intercaste, and apakrishta with an outcast. All these lead to one's degradation. So intercaste and with an outcast, these kinds of marriages leads to one's degradation. By drinking wine, a person's intelligence becomes diverted toward the path of sin. And as a result, one develops a taste for associating with women. According to social consideration, this is extremely abominable. Lord Nityānanda is the dearmost object of those who are under the shelter of vātsalya ras. Even if Jagadguru Avadut Śrī Nityānanda happened to engage in such abominable activities, Śrīvāsa's attachment for Nityānanda would not diminish. Śrīvāsa is stating that if Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu spoils his caste, kills him, plunders his wealth, etc., his propensity for the service of Nityānanda will not diminish in the least. The nature of love is that if, according to worldly calculations, some disgusting symptoms are found in the object of love, it does not make any difference to the lover. I am eternally attached to Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu. If I ever find some temporary worldly contradictory mood in him, I will not give up the partiality of my attachment for him. Actually, Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu is the ideal example of great moralists. If someone desiring to minimize Nityānanda attempts to associate him with the most abominable activity of this world, according to my opinion, it should not be considered necessary for me to give up his eternally blissful service. People who are weak-hearted and sinful cannot understand these topics of Nityānanda's glories, and they thus support their own sinful desire by accepting him differently. As a result, one can recognize their abominable, immoral tastes. Fanaticism in moods that are unfavorable for understanding the absolute truth can never enter into the grave transcendental pastimes of Sri Sriman Nityānanda Prabhu. In order to distort the intelligence of sinful people, Lord Krishna performs the pastimes of a debauchee. Such pastimes create great inauspiciousness for people with inferior tastes. The living entity's eternal service propensity is awakened by the eternal pastimes that the Supreme Lord manifests in order to exhibit the superiority of persons who are attached to the service of the Lord and who are devoid of desires for material enjoyment. Although the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu had ordinary attachment for Śrī Caitanya-dev, he invited his ruination by failing to understand the transcendental love of Lord Nityānanda. Following in his footsteps, the Bauls, the Prakrit Sahajiyas, and other Upasampradayas are busy going to hell. They also have the tendency to attribute immoral characteristics to Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu was never eager to perform any activity opposed to the principles of morality. One should completely give up the association of those unfortunate persons who attribute such moods on him through their demoniac philosophies, and should in all respects follow in the footsteps of persons who are surrendered to the lotus feet of Nityānanda. Eteka shunila jadi Śrīvāser mukhe Hunkar Koriya Prabhu Uthe tar buke. So what did Śrīvāsa say? He said that even if Nityānanda holds a pot of wine, associates with women, and spoils my caste, life, and wealth, still my faith will not waver. This is a fact I am telling you. And so when Mahāprabhu heard this, when he heard this from the mouth of Śrīvāsa, he got up, roared loudly, and embraced him to his chest. Prabhu bole ki bolila pandita Śrīvāsa, Nityānanda pratitor etoi vishvas. Oh, Pandit Śrīvāsa, what did you say? You have so much faith in Nityānanda? Mor gopya Nityānanda janila shetumi, tomare santushta hoya vare diye ami. Jadi Lakshmi bhikha kore, nagare nagare, tatapi daridrator nahi bheka ghare. Bidala kukur adi tomar badir, sabar amate bhakti hoy bekasthir. You have understood my confidential associate Nityānanda. Therefore, I am most pleased with you and desire to give you a benediction. Even if Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, if she begs alms from door to door, you will never be afflicted with poverty. Maybe Lakshmi Devi will beg alms from door to door, but you will never be afflicted with poverty. Everyone in your house, including the cats and dogs, will have unflinching devotion for me. The biral, kukurs, everybody will have amate bhakti hoibek stir. They'll have unflinching stir bhakti for me. Gaudiya Bhashya. Nityananda Prabhu is completely under my protection, Gaura Sundar's protection. Since you, Śrīvāsa, know this, there is no limit to my satisfaction. If the goddess of fortune Lakshmi Devi, who resides on the chest of Narayan, the Lord of 6 opulences, even if she becomes bereft of her opulences and due to poverty begs from door to door, still, by the influence of Narayani, you will never experience any such situation like need. The characteristics of devotional service to the Lord are manifest in you in such a way that the non-devotee's worries about worldly needs will never bother you. Therefore, even if Lakshmi Devi, who awards prosperity and wealth, ever experiences need, you will not experience any need. Your service propensity toward the Supreme Lord is so strong that what to speak of you and your relatives, even the domestic animals like the cats and dogs in your house, they will have unflinching devotion for me. The great sage Ala Bandharu said, even if by the will of the Lord I have to take birth again in this material world, let me have the association of the devotees by taking birth as a dog, cat, or insect in a devotee's house. King Kulashekar said, if I get an opportunity to associate with persons who are fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord birth after birth, then I will not even accept liberation. The influence of the association of the Lord's devotees is such that if even low-born living entities get the slightest amount of such association, their inclination towards the service of the Lord is awakened. One Vaishnava has sung, Vaishnavera grihe jadi hoi tamo kukur eto diya torai ten Vaishnava Thakur. It's a beautiful verse. If I were the dog in the house of a Vaishnava, then he would have delivered me by giving me his remnants. Jai. That's a beautiful verse. I'm going to save this. Oops, one second. Okay. Nityānanda samarpilu ami tomasthane sarvamate samvarana koriba apane. I am offering Nityānanda to you. Please take care of him in all respects. Gaudiya Bhashya. I am offering you Nityānanda, your worshipable Lord. I am offering you Nityānanda, your worshipable Lord, so that you may constantly serve him. You should constantly engage in his service in all respects. This is my blessing. The reverential service of the Lord, who is the predominating deity of the Sandhini potency by the pure devotees, headed by Śrīvāsa, is particularly praiseworthy. In the pastimes of Śrī Gaurasundar, Sriman Mahāprabhu, who is the combined form of Radha Govinda, is served through 5 kinds of rasas. The sentiments of Radharani are manifested among Śrī Gaurasundar's energies, such as Śrī Gadadhar, Śrī Jagadananda, and Śrī Sarup Damodar, as the ingredients of Madhur Ras Lila, or conjugal pastimes. But to imagine conjugal pastimes in the Audarya Lila, or magnanimous pastimes, is the fault known as Rasa Bhas, the overlapping of transcendental mellows. The Dasya Ras mixed with vātsalya and devotees such as Śrīvāsa is the prime example of pure devotional service. This is the most cherished object for the followers of Nityānanda. Worship of the Lord's energies, headed by Śrī Gadadhar, is found among the followers of Śrī Rupa Goswami. The devotees of the Lord see associates like Kashishvar and Govinda as situated on the platform of spontaneous dasya, Śrī Ramananda and Paramananda as possessing the full manifestation of conjugal attachment covered by Sakya, and the abodes of Gauramandal and Kshetramandal and Rajmandal as situated on the platform of Shantaras. Huh. That's very interesting, huh? Wow, I'm going to save this one. I don't have a good system for saving things from Word documents. Anyways, okay. Hari Bol Surevi Didi. Śrīvāsa re var diya Prabhu gela ghar, Nityānanda bhrame sab na diya nagar. After giving this benediction to Śrīvāsa, the Lord returned home. Nityānanda continued to wander throughout Nadia. Kshane ke gangar majhe edena santar, Mahasrote loy jai santosha apar. Sometimes he swam in the Ganga, and sometimes he happily floated in the current. Balaka sabar shange kshane krida kore, kshane jai Gangadas murarir ghare. Sometimes he played with the boys, and sometimes he went to the houses of Gangadas and Murari. Prabhur barite koneka jayen dhaya daya bodo sneha kore ai tahane dekhiya. Sometimes he rushed to the Lord's house, where Mother Śacī showered him with affection. Balya bhave Nityānanda air charan dhori bare jai ai kore palayan. In the mood of a child, Nityānanda tried to catch hold of Mother Śacī's feet, but she would run away. Ekadina ai kichu dekhila swapane, nibhrite kohila putra vishwambhar sthane. Nishi avasheshe mui dekhilo swapan, tomi ar Nityānanda e dui jan. Vatsar pancher dui, chawala. Vatsar pancher dui, chawala hoyama. Ramari kori dohe bedao dhaiya. Tui jane santhaila goshair ghare. Rama Krishna loy dohe hoila bahire. Tar hate Krishna tumi loy balaram. Chari jane mara mari mor vidyaman. Rama Krishna Thakur boloye kruda hoya. Ke tora dhangate dui bahira ogiya. Okay. One day, Mother Śacī had a dream, which she narrated to her son Vishvambar in a solitary place. She said, Early this morning, I had a dream in which I saw you and Nityananda. Both of you appeared like 5-year-old boys. You were quarreling together and chasing each other. You were quarreling together and chasing each other. In this way, you both entered the deity room and came out holding Krishna and Balaram in your hands. He had Krishna in his hands, and you had Balaram. Then I clearly saw the four of you quarreling together. The deities of Krishna and Balaram angrily said, "Who are you imposters?" What was the word? Dhangati? Yeah. Ke tora dhangati. And get out of here. Dui bahira ogia. Ke tora dhangati. Who are you imposters? Get out of here. Gaudiya Bhashya. Besides the Narayan Shalagram Shila, there were also deities of Krishna and Balaram in Shacī's house in Sri Mayapur. Janardhan, no. Nadia is not short for Navadip. No. And Navadip is contained in Nadia. But Nadia has, I think, includes more than just Navadip. Nadia is like the district. Okay, so besides Narayan Shalagram Shila, there are also deities of Krishna and Balaram in the house of Sri Mayapur. While describing whatever she saw in her dream to Mahaprabhu, Shacī Devi said, "As 5-year-old boys, you, Vishwambar, and Nityananda entered our deity room, and you brought out the deities of Krishna and Balaram and began to quarrel with each other. I saw a loving quarrel of verbal and physical exchanges between you and Balaram and between Krishna and Nityananda. The deities of Balaram and Krishna were saying, 'Both of you are imposters, you are dhangati. You have forcibly entered into our house and then taken our eaten food.' In this way, they displayed their anger." The word sandaila means entered. The word dhangati means a cheater, an imposter, a cunning person, or a thief. So get out of here. E badi e ghar shaba ama dohakar, e sandesh dadi dugda jata upahar. This house, these rooms, this sandesh, this yogurt, and this milk, all of it belongs to us. Nityānanda boloye shekala gelo boye, je kale kaile dodhi navani lutiye. Then Nityananda said, those days when you stole yogurt and butter to eat, those days are gone. Guchilo goyal hoilo vipra adhikar apana chaniya charo shab upahar. The days of the cowherd boys are over. Now the Brahmins have taken charge. Recognize us and allow us to enjoy all the offerings. It doesn't say allow in the Bengali. It says, having understood us, give up all these upahars, all these offerings. Gaudiya Bhashya. In Vraj Lila, you were the cowherd boys known as Ram and Krishna. You alone ate all the milk products like yogurt and curd. But now those days are gone, and you have appeared as young Brahmin boys. Therefore, try to understand your present situation and give up the desire to enjoy these offerings. These are our offerings. The days of the cowherd boys, those days are gone. Now it's the time for the Brahmins. Us. This is our things. Give it up. Prite jadi na chadiba khaiba maran, lutia khaile ba rakhibe kona jan. If you do not affectionately allow us to eat, then you will be beaten. Khaiba maran, mar khawa. Then you'll be beaten. Moreover, if we forcibly eat, who can stop us? Rakibe kunjan, who will stop us? Rama Krishna bole aji mor doshanai, pantiya edi mudui, dhanga e thai. Then Rama and Krishna said, "It will not be our fault if we bind you impostors here today." Gaudiya Bhashya. The word edimu means will keep. Nityananda informs Rama and Krishna about their present situation. They replied, then Rama and Krishna replied, "We will bind and keep both of you here, and then we will leave this place. When we do so, no one can find fault with us, because you're imposters, so we're binding you and we'll leave you all bound up." Although Balaram and Krishna were present there in the form of the deities, when the positions of Gaur and Nityananda were established, they, meaning Balaram and Krishna, wanted to install them, Gaur and Nityananda, in the position of Krishna and Balaram and leave that place. Okay. Dohai Krishna Jadi Aji Karo Aya. God, I don't know how to do that. Anyways. I don't know how to pronounce that. Nityananda Prati Tarja Garja Kore Rama. Then Balaram threatened Nityananda. He said, "In the name of Krishna, you better not misbehave today." Nityananda bole tor Krishna re ki daro Gaura Chandra Vishwambar Amar Ishvar. Nityananda replied, "I am not afraid of your Krishna, for my Lord is Gaurachandra Vishwambar." "E mate koloho koroye chari jan, kada kari kori shav koroye bhojan." In this way, the four of you, so Mother Śacī is saying, in this way, the four of you quarreled and forcibly ate each other's food. That'd be so much fun to watch them like fighting over eating all the food. This is mine. Oh, this is mine. Kaharo hater keho kari loy khai. Kaharo mukher keho mukha diya khai. Someone grabbed another's food and ate, and someone ate the food from another's mouth with his own mouth. Pulled it out of his mouth and stuck it in his own mouth. Janani bolia Nityananda dake more, anna deho mata more, khuda boro kore. Then Nityananda called me and said, "Oh mother, please give me some rice. I am hungry." I love that how Nityananda just walks in and wakes up Śacī Devi while she's sleeping. He just says, "Feed me." Eteke bolite mui chetana pailo. Kichuna bhujilu mui tomare kohilu. When Nityananda said this to me, I woke up, but I could not understand anything, so I am relating this to you. Hase Prabhu Vishvambhara Shuniya Swapan Jananir Prati Bole Madhur Bachan. After hearing the topics of her dream, Lord Vishvambar laughed and spoke to his mother in sweet words. Boroi suswapna tumi dekhi acho mata, ar karo thai pache koho e katha. "O mother, you have certainly seen a most auspicious dream. Please do not disclose this to anyone." Amar gharer murti porote ka boro, mor chitta tomar swapnete hoilo daro. The deities in our house are full of life, and your dream has firmly established this fact in my heart. Gaudiya Bhashya. After hearing the statements of Śrī Caitanya Devi, Mahāprabhu said, "The deities of Rama and Krishna in our house are directly the Supreme Lord. Now, by hearing about your dream, my heart has become fixed in this conviction." Mui dekho bare bare naivedyer saje, adha adi na thake na koho kare laje. I often see that half of the foods that I offer vanish. Feeling shy, I don't tell anyone about this. Tomar vadure mor sandeho achilo, aji she amar mane sandeho ghuchilo. I had some doubt about your daughter-in-law, but today that doubt has been removed. Gaudiya Bhashya. When Śrī Gaurasundar offered foods cooked by Vishnu Priya Devi, he often observed that half of the offering was eaten by the deities. Therefore, Mahaprabhu said, I had a doubt in my mind that your daughter-in-law, Vishnu Priya Devi, ate it. But now, after hearing about your dream, I am firmly convinced that most of the offered foods were eaten by the deities themselves, and the rest was left for us. Within another room inside the house, Vishnu Priya Devi, the mother of the universe, smiled on hearing these words of Srimad Mahaprabhu. Hase Lakshmi Jagannatha Swamir Vachane Antare Thakiya Sab Swapna Katha Shune. Vishnu Priya Devi, the mother of the universe, smiled on hearing the words of her husband. She had heard the entire narration of the dream from within another room. Vishvambara bole mata shuno ho bachan Nityānanda ani jhat kora ho bhojan. Vishvambar said, O mother, please hear my words. Let us immediately call Nityānanda here to feed him. Yes. Putrer vachane Śacī harisha hoila bikhar samagri jata korite lagila. Mother Śacī was pleased to hear these words of her son and began gathering the ingredients for lunch. Nityānanda sthane gela prabhu Vishvambar nimantrana giyatane korila satvar. Amar barite aji গোসাঁয়ের ভিক্ষা চঞ্চলতা না করিব করাইলা শিক্ষা কর্ণধরি নিত্যানন্দ বিষ্ণু বিষ্ণু বলে চঞ্চলতা করে যত পাগল সকলে যে ভুজিয়ে মোরে তুমি বাসহ চঞ্চল আপনার মত তুমি দেখো সকল এত বলে দুইজনে হাসিতে হাসিতে কৃষ্ণ কথা কহি কহি আইলা বাড়িতে. Lord Vishwambar quickly went to Nityananda's residence and invited him for lunch. He said, O Gosai, today you should take lunch at our house. But I tell you beforehand, do not create any mischief. Nityananda held his ears and said, Vishnu, Vishnu, only madmen create mischief. I think you consider me a mischief monger because you think everyone is like yourself. Speaking in this way, they both began to laugh. They then proceeded to the Lord's house while discussing topics of Krishna on the way. Gaudiya Bhashya. After hearing the narration of the dream, Mahaprabhu invited Nityananda to take lunch at his house. He forbade him from displaying any kind of mischief. Nityananda replied, Vishnu, Vishnu, only madmen create mischief. You treat everyone like yourself. You yourself are restless, intoxicated with the mellows of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, you think that everyone in the world is like that. That is why you also consider me restless. As they spoke in this way, they walked towards the house of Jagannath Mishra. Hasiya boshila eka thai dui jan, Gadadhar adi ar paramaptagan. They both smiled as they sat down together, accompanied by their intimate associates like Gadadhar. Well, what happened? For almost this whole reading, there's been 7 people watching, but now it says there's only 2 people watching. I wonder if something happened with the connection, or if people just, or maybe that number isn't telling the truth. I don't know. Anyhow, okay. Ishana dilen jal dhuite charan Nityananda shange gela korite bhojan. Ishan gave them water to wash their feet. Then the Lord and Nityananda went to eat lunch. বসিলেন দুই প্রভু করিতে ভোজন কৌশল্যার ঘরে যেন শ্রীরাম লক্ষ্মণ. The mood in which the two lords sat eating together resembled that of Sri Ram and Lakshman at the house of Kaushalya. E mata dui prabhu koro ye bhojan, shei bhava shei prem shei dui jan. In this way, the two lords ate their lunch in the same mood, with the same affection, as the same persons. Pariveshan kore ai parama santoshe, tribhaga hoila bhiksha e dui jana hase. Arbar asi ai dui jane dekhe, vatsar pancher shishu dekhe parateke. As Mother Śacī happily served them, she set out 3 plates by mistake, and they both began to laugh. When she returned to serve them more, she directly saw them as 5-year-old boys. Gaudiya Bhashya. When Śrī Gaur and Nityānanda sat down to eat, the respected Mother Śacī began to serve them prasad. While serving them prasad, she mistakenly prepared 3 plates. As a result, Śrī Gaur and Nityānanda began to laugh. After setting out 3 plates, Mother Śacī returned to serve more, and she saw that Gaur and Nityānanda were eating, yet she directly saw them as 5-year-old boys. Krishna Shukla Varna dekhe dui manohar, dui jana chatur bhuja dui digambar. She saw 2 enchanting boys, one with a whitish complexion and the other was blackish. Both had 4 arms and both were naked. Wow, this is another interesting form of Chaturbhuj. Chaturbhuj as children. Shankha Chakra Gada Parma, Shri Hala Mushal, Śrīvāsa Kaustuba Dekhe Makar Kundal. She saw that they had the conch, disc, club, lotus, plow, mushal, the mark of Śrīvāsa, the Kaustuba gem, and their ears were decorated with shark-shaped earrings. Apanara vadhu dekhe putrer hridaye, sakrit dekhiya ar dekhite na paye. She saw her daughter-in-law on the chest of her son. Then suddenly, the whole scene disappeared. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Śacī Devi saw 2 naked 5-year-old boys. The chest of one was decorated with the Kaustuba gem, and the other held the plow and mushal in his hands. But both boys had 4 arms. Her daughter-in-law, Vishnupriya Devi, was present on the chest of one of the boys. She saw this scene for only a moment and could not see it again. The first line of this verse indicates that she saw Sri Lakshmi Devi on the chest of Sri Krishna. In the Padma Puran, it is stated, after seeing the beauty of Sri Krishna, Sri Lakshmi Devi was attracted to him and began to perform austerities. Then Lord Krishna asked her, "For what reason are you performing austerities?" Lakshmi replied, "I desire to take the form of a gopi and enjoy your company in Vrindavan." Lord Krishna said, "That is most rarely attained." Lakshmi again said, "O my Lord, I wish to remain on your chest in the form of golden lions." Lord Krishna then said, "So be it." Since then, Lakshmi remained on the chest of Lord Krishna in the form of golden lions. Very interesting, huh? I've never heard the history of the Śrīvāsa. Okay. Porila murchita hoya prithivir tale, titila vasana sab nayaner jale. Anamoy sarvagar hoilo takhane, apurva dekhiya Śacī bahya nahi jane. She fell to the ground unconscious, and all her clothes became wet with tears. Rice was scattered throughout the entire room. On seeing this wonderful sight, Śacī forgot herself. Gaudiya Bhashya. All her clothes became wet with tears. When liberated souls see the Supreme Lord, they lose their external consciousness. Since it is impossible for unfortunate souls to attain this state, the materialists are unable to realize this eternal state. According to the materialists, everything is within the realm of knowledge achieved through sensual perception. And since ordinary people have no qualification for perceiving transcendental subject matters, they are unwilling to repose their faith in them. Ate byate Mahāprabhu achamana kori, gaye hata diya jana nire tole dhori. Mahāprabhu hurriedly washed his hands and picked up his mother. Utho utho mata tumi stir koro chitta, kene ba porila pritivite achambita. Oh mother, please get up. Calm yourself. Why did you suddenly fall to the ground? Bahya pai ai ate byate kesha bandhe, na boloye kichu ai griha Madhya-khaṇḍa. On regaining her consciousness, Mother Śacī quickly tied her hair. She did not say anything as she wept inside one of the rooms. Mahadirga shvasa chhade kampa sarva gai, preme paripurna hoila kichu nahi bhai. She breathed heavily, and her entire body trembled. She was filled with ecstasy, and nothing else came to her mind. Ishana korila shab griha upaskar, joto chilo avashesha shakala tahar, shevilena sarvakal, aire ishan, chaturdasha lokamadhe mahabhagyavan. Then Ishan cleaned the entire room and honored all the remnants. Ishan is the most fortunate person within the 14 worlds, for he served Mother Śacī throughout his entire life. Gaudiya Bhashya. Ishan, the Lord's domestic servant, gathered together the scattered rice and cleansed the room. There is no limit to the good fortune of Ishan. He spent his entire life serving the Lord's mother. By serving the Lord's mother and wife, even after the Lord accepted sannyas, the servant Ishan became greatly fortunate among the fortunate servants of the Lord in this world. E mata aneka kautuka pratidine, marmi bhritya boy iha keho nahi jane. In this way, many sweet pastimes took place every day. No one except the confidential servants of the Lord know about them. Gaudiya Bhashya. The phrase marmi bhritya is explained as follows. Being averse to the service of the Lord, foolish materialists wander throughout the world trying to enjoy. They are incapable of entering into the external world and unfolding the mysterious truths. Only the Lord's confidential servants, who are not bewildered by the external phantasmagoria, are actually capable of realizing the inner truths. Madhya-khaṇḍa khatha jeno amritera bhanda, je khatha shunile ghuche antar pashanda. It's exactly the same thing what we say in our Mangala Charana every day, except instead of khanda it says bhanda, which basically means the same thing. The topics of Madhya-khaṇḍa are like pots of nectar. By hearing these topics, the atheism within one's heart is vanquished. E mata gora chandra navadvipa majhe, kirtana korena sab bhakata samaje. In this way, Gaurachandra and the devotees engaged in chanting the holy names in Navadvip. Jai Shri Gaur Nitāi ki Jai, Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Śacī Mata ki jai. Jai Mālinī Devi ki jai. Śrīvāsa Pandit ki jai. Jai Vishnu Priya Devi ki jai. Saparshad Shri Gaur Hari ki jai. Śrī Nitāi Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Wow, today was a very fun reading. And so tomorrow we will read about, let's see. Okay, so tomorrow we will read about Gaur and Nitai's wonderful ecstatic mood, Mahaprabhu's ride on the shoulders of a singer who sang the glories of Lord Shiva, the Lord's resolution to perform congregational chanting at night, and the Lord's nightly Sankirtan pastimes at the house of Śrīvāsa. I think we'll probably read up to there. I don't know. I have to plan it out. But yeah, those will be the topics for tomorrow. All right, so I'll do Mahamantra and we will end for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitāi Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitāi Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai. Oh, I guess Kishore isn't here, so I'm gonna do a much shorter Jai Dvani than what we've been getting used to. But Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Sorry, I just said that, didn't I? Nityalila Pravishta Mahābhāgavata Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupa Anugauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Nama Chai Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal, Gaura Mandal, Vraja Mandal, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Nitāi ki Jai. Krishna Balaram ki Jai. Shriman Avadut Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Śrīvāsa Thakur ki Jai. Mālinī Devi ki Jai. Nityananda is staying in the house of Śrīvāsa Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaur Nitāi. Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai. Jai Śacī Mata ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Priya Devi ki Jai. Jai Swaparsha Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitāi Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams. Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is there. There's Ganga Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, Janardhan Prabhu, Vidyalala Sadidi, Sudevi Didi, and yeah, anybody else watching in the future, Dandavat Pranams. All right, so that is our reading for today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Before I end this stream, does Shubhananda Prabhu or Nari Hari Prabhu want to have anything that you want to say? Okay, so that wraps it up for today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe.